And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy, Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy, Sad Play TJ.
And this is a No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. We back.
Y'all was wilding this weekend.
Be more specific.
Y'all was out here protesting this weekend.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about who's going to fix Trump.
Not.
And I know this is a little bit of a divergence from our normal content, right? We usually talk about hip hop and things of that nature, but if you rewind about 10 years ago, we started this podcast by talking about Trump. And so this time around, it's time.
Yeah, it's big time.
It's due time.
Past time.
And we have some things that are actually relevant to talk about, right? So the April 5th, which is this past Saturday's hands off protest, and how many black folks have been opting out of that protest. If folks don't know, there are protests all across the nation, but the main protest is in DC, and it's meant to tell Donald Trump to basically keep your hands off of everything that we want, right? Hands off Social Security, hands off education, hands off a bunch of different things.
There's some things that are absent.
There are some things that are absent. So let's start there, right? So like based off of the hands off platform, right? What's missing from that platform according to you?
I don't see like hands off segregation or hands off DEI. I don't see hands off, Black Lives, or I don't see anything that is, has to involve the brown skinned people.
Yeah, I'll read some of their reasons for mobilizing right now. So they're dismantling Social Security and Medicare, forcing seniors and disabled Americans to jump through hoops, right? So that impacts us in some ways. There's some overlaps. They're handing trillions to billionaires while forcing the rest of us to pay higher prices for food, rent, and healthcare. That impacts us, but it's not direct. It's indirect.
Yeah.
They're gutting protections for working people. So payday lenders, banks, credit card companies can scam Americans with zero consequences. They're assaulting our communities and our rights, right? Targeting veterans, kids, seniors, farmers, immigrants, transgender people, and political opponents. But I feel like that last paragraph is missing people of color, black folks specifically. And it also doesn't talk about, like you said, how they're dismantling like civil rights and all types of other ways to fight against discrimination and inequities in our country. And so ultimately what we've gotten to is black folks have decided to opt out of this protest this weekend. And I don't blame them.
I don't either. It's like, what are you supposed to do? We spent his last term telling you he don't care about people. We spent the time during Joe Biden's run that he don't care about people. And we've also spent that time throughout all of it saying that both political parties have to be more grounded. And no one listened. Nobody listened.
But on top of that, nobody absorbed the actual information that was being delivered to them. He told you that he was going to do these tariffs. He told you that he was going to go after government inefficiencies.
He told you he was going to go after education.
They told you in Project 2025, which he denied that he even knew about. They had the plan laid out.
Which doesn't make any sense. Like, let's be for real. If you don't think that somebody with Project 2025 in mind is not on the like pay scale of Donald Trump, then you are very ignorant and would not have like talked to him about it.
Yeah.
Or at least said something to him about it because they felt like he is somebody that's aligned with those things. You're an idiot. And like, no offense to you, but or not, you're not an idiot. You're ignorant of the spaces that Donald Trump is clearly in. And everything, like, you can go down the list. You can find all the stuff, whether it's Roe v. Wade in terms of the overturning and stuff of that, in terms of everything that's going on in the House. The fact that the affirmative action has been removed. Segregation is technically legal again. Mm-hmm. If they want to do whatever it is they want to do with that, which we'll see the ramifications of very shortly, I guarantee you. And no one said anything. But when we get to the tariffs and the eggs and all these prices not coming down, when life for you financially, not socially, but financially gets hard, is now when we want to say, hey, stop protesting, or hey, hands off. Overall, like, to get to the actual point about like why we wouldn't go out and protest or whatever, right? When peaceful protests, especially with this administration, have happened, we've seen the response. When Colin Kaepernick and all of them were taking knees, he called them SOBs, and did a lot of disrespectful things. Talked to Jerry Jones about what would happen if people were protesting. Show up to the games, was talking crazy about all the people who didn't show up to the White House, i.e. the Warriors, I think the Eagles during their first run, and some other teams that just didn't want to deal with him, and he disrespected them.
Right.
When it's an option. I don't know if you guys remember the dinner that the March Madness NCAA kids get to go on. Like, maybe y'all remember they went and he served them McDonald's.
I want to take it away from modern history. So since slavery, black folks have been fighting for their rights.
Yes.
You have anti-slavery and abolishment movement. Mm-hmm. You have participation within the Civil War, where black folks sacrificed their lives for the Union. You have Reconstruction, where black folks were undermined and not provided an opportunity to move forward. You have
the Civil Rights Movement, or Jim Crow Civil Rights Movement after Reconstruction.
Right. Jim Crow Civil Rights Movement. And even forward still, right, you have the war on drugs. You have the 90s that happened to black folks in Million Man March, right? We have George Floyd and continued protests throughout history. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but like, we keep standing up. Y'all keep knocking us down. Bro. Yeah, you keep knocking us down, and then now that it's impacting you, you're asking us to stand up again.
And it doesn't make sense when we explain this from the beginning. And even to go back to the George Floyd point, right? When we're thinking about our protest, starting from like Trayvon Martin, right? So I remember when that happened, and the only protest that people did in regards to that was wear hoodies, and wear like the black hoodies, and you get Skittles or whatever. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but there were people who went out on Halloween in hoodies with blood on it and Skittles.
Yeah.
As a joke, because they again vilified these kids, and we're continuously vilified when we're peaceful.
Right. So
let alone like being the scapegoat in this situation, when everything that is black, whether it's HBCU funding, the DEI breakdown in terms of what that actually means for how sororities and fraternities are able to do their scholarships. You can't. Right. Like,
if you attack the Department of Education, who's gonna feel it the most?
We are, because we're like already on a small thread off to the side. And understand this.
Right. Because higher education feels it the most. And the one thing that pisses me off the most, 90 million people decided to stay home because they were like, I don't like any of these candidates. And I'm sorry, this isn't the lesser of two evils conversation. This is who's going to dismantle our democracy and who's not. And I'm sorry, like, I know you care about Gaza. I know you care about
Palestine. And
not just Palestine, but like some other things.
Just
right?
the world in that sense, in terms of people suffering.
Some reasons why people didn't go out is because they didn't agree with Kamala's stance on Gaza.
Yeah.
Some reasons people didn't go out is because they claimed that they didn't know that Kamala was actually for some things like lowering grocery prices. They claimed that they didn't know what she stood for. But I'm sorry, like if you can type in the website of your favorite thing,
Your artist.
or the latest concert that's going to happen, if you can type in tiktok.com and scroll through TikTok all day, you have time to go read her platform.
Or read the platform of somebody that you want. Or 90 million people, right?
And I'm sorry, like, I keep interrupting you.
No, you can.
Read the platform and then tell me which one is better. Which one do you want to live under?
Or tell me, like, if you don't like both, you can fund somebody. Like, it's 90 million. Like, if everybody did $1 for the 90 million that didn't vote, you could have picked the candidate that you wanted and funded said candidate.
True.
Like, and it not been a burden on nobody in terms of whatever it is that you wanted to do.
So here's the metaphor, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody said hands off when it comes to the election. Mm-hmm. Don't tell me hands off when it comes to this protest now.
No. Don't tell me to like stand up and go for your rights when we told you that he does not care about you. We told you up front. And because again, black voices are never heard in warning.
And the one black voice you didn't want to listen to was Kamala Harris, by the way.
Like, and not only does that to me say what America feels about black women in earnest.
1,000%.
Because we allowed him to do the whole, well, you're not from here game again that he did with Obama, only y'all let it stick this time.
Right. Yeah. So I really believe that no human being has an excuse for opting out and then blaming us when we opt out of helping you in this fight.
Yeah, I'm good.
You see what I'm saying? Like, how can so 90 million people can come back and say, we're going to go out and protest. We're going to go out and fight back when we didn't have to have this fight to begin with.
And so we end up in this place where all of these ramifications, and we're going to transition to the tariffs because it's clear that we're saying we're not the ones to fix Trump because this is y'all's problem now. Like, we're going to do what we can and what we've always done in survival mode, because even with the us not doing anything, right? I still get a little weary about that. And I only get weary about it because I'm like, Black Wall Street wasn't doing.
I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop donating to the ACLU.
Oh yeah, same.
I'm not gonna stop my political campaigning. Right, like I'm stepping out on Monday. I'm going to the Capitol building to talk to legislators. Mm-hmm. Not in DC, but in Washington State. I'm continuing to be outspoken.
Yeah.
About things that are happening, but I'm not gonna do that in a way that endangers my life. Because instead of choosing Kamala Harris, you chose to opt out.
I appreciate y'all. Much love. Stay safe out there, guys. Stay safe out there. Yeah. And we'll see you in the next one. I hope there's no bad news later on this week. A 1 and a 2 and a peace.